Rome, Italy. Cinecittà Studios, Stage 5. October 1964. Wednesday afternoon, 3:15 p.m. The soundstage smells like cigarette smoke and espresso. Italian crew members argue loudly in the corners about camera angles, about lunch breaks, about soccer matches from the weekend. Their voices echo off the high ceiling, bouncing between the massive Klieg lights suspended on metal scaffolding. This is Sergio Leone's kingdom, a sprawling Western set built inside a European film studio. False front buildings made of plywood and paint. A dusty street that leads nowhere. Hitching posts. A saloon with swinging doors that creak when the wind from the industrial fans hits them at the right angle. Everything here is fake, but Leone is trying to make it feel real. He's been shooting for 6 weeks. A Fistful of Dollars. A Western unlike anything Hollywood has made. No heroes, no clear morality. Just violence, survival, and a man in a poncho who says almost nothing. That man is Clint Eastwood. He stands in the middle of the fake street wearing the costume that will become iconic. Brown poncho, black jeans, boots caked with dust that the prop department applies fresh every morning. A battered hat pulled low, a thin cigar clamped between his teeth. Clint is 34 years old. He's been acting for a decade. 7 years on Rawhide, dozens of episodes playing Rowdy Yates, a young cowboy who talks too much and smiles at pretty girls. But that's not who he is here. Here, he is the man with no name. A character who doesn't smile, doesn't explain, doesn't apologize. A character who exists in silence. Leone loves it. The Italian director paces behind the camera, gesturing wildly with his hands, explaining the shot to his cinematographer in rapid Italian that Clint doesn't understand. Leone is a big man, tall, heavy, always sweating under the studio lights. He wears thick-framed glasses that slide down his nose. His shirt is perpetually untucked. He looks nothing like a Hollywood director, but he thinks like an artist. Leone believes Westerns should be operas, grand, brutal, beautiful. He wants every frame to look like a painting. He wants faces that tell stories without words. He wants silence to carry as much weight as gunfire. And he found the perfect face in Clint Eastwood. Today they're shooting a critical scene. The man with no name walks into the saloon. 2 gunmen are waiting for him. They're going to try to kill him. He knows this. They know he knows. The entire scene is about the tension before violence, the moment when death hangs in the air like smoke. Leone has been setting up this shot for 3 hours. The lighting has to be perfect, shadows cutting across faces, dust floating in beams of light, the camera low, looking up at Clint as he pushes through the saloon doors. Clint stands on his mark, waiting, patient. He learned patience working on Rawhide, learned that film sets are 90% waiting and 10% action, learned not to waste energy between takes. Leone confers with his assistant director, points at the camera, points at Clint, points at the 2 actors playing the gunman. Everyone nods. They're almost ready. Then the producer walks onto the set. His name is Giorgio Papi, mid-50s, expensive suit, gold watch, slicked back hair. He produces low-budget films for the European market, westerns, horror films, sword and sandal epics, anything cheap that makes money. A Fistful of Dollars is cheap. The entire budget is $200,000. Most of that went to building the sets and paying the Italian crew. Clint is working for $15,000. No percentage, no back end. Just a flat fee and a plane ticket to Spain where they shot the exteriors. Papi has been nervous about this production from the beginning. Westerns are an American genre. Why would Europeans want to watch an Italian-made Western with an American TV actor nobody in Europe knows? He's been watching the dailies, the raw footage Leone shoots every day. And Papi doesn't understand what he's seeing. Too slow, too quiet. The main character barely talks, barely moves, never smiles. Where's the charm? Where's the personality? Where's the star power? Poppy walks up to Leone, interrupts the setup. The crew stops working. Everyone can feel the tension. Leone turns slowly. He doesn't like being interrupted, especially not by producers who don't understand art. Poppy speaks in Italian, fast, aggressive, gesturing toward Clint. Clint doesn't understand the words, but he understands the tone. This is a complaint. Leone responds. His voice is calm but firm. He's explaining something, defending something. Poppy shakes his head, points at Clint again, says something that makes the crew uncomfortable. A few of them look away. Leone's face hardens. Then Poppy switches to English. Broken English with a thick accent, but clear enough. He walks toward Clint. Mr. Eastwood, you are very serious. Too serious. This character, he never smiles. The audience, they need to like him. They need to see his face happy sometimes. You understand? Clint looks at him. Doesn't respond immediately, just looks. Poppy continues. In American Westerns, the cowboy, he smiles. John Wayne smiles. Gary Cooper smiles. The hero must be simpatico, likable. But you, he gestures at Clint's face. You look angry all the time, like you want to kill everyone. Leone steps forward, tries to intervene. Giorgio, we discussed this. The character is not... Poppy holds up a hand, cuts him off. Sergio, I am the producer. I pay for this film. I need to sell this film, and I cannot sell a cowboy who looks like he hates the world. He turns back to Clint. Mr. Eastwood, I am offering you a bonus. Extra money. 1 million lire. He pauses, does the math in his head. About 1,600 American dollars. You smile in this scene, just once. Big smile. Show the audience you are a good guy. Then I pay you the bonus. Easy money, yes? The set goes completely silent. 30 crew members stop moving, stop breathing, waiting to see what the American actor will do. $1,600 is more than 10% of Clint's entire salary for this film. For a smile. For one moment of doing what the producer wants. Most actors would take it. Most actors would smile, collect the money, and move on. But Clint Eastwood is not most actors. He stands there for a long moment, the cigar still clamped between his teeth, his eyes hidden under the brim of his hat. Then he takes the cigar out of his mouth, looks directly at Poppy, and says one word. No. Poppy blinks, not sure he heard correctly. No? No. You refuse the money? I refuse to smile. Poppy laughs, thinks this is a negotiation, thinks Clint is asking for more. Okay. You want more? 2 million lire. That is, more than 3,000 American dollars. You smile once. One time. That is all. Clint shakes his head. You don't understand. This character doesn't smile. He can't smile. It would break everything we're building. Poppy's face goes red. His voice rises. Break what? You are building nothing. You are standing there like a statue, like a corpse. The audience needs emotion. They need to connect. Leone tries again. Giorgio, please. But Poppy ignores him. He's focused on Clint now. Finger pointing, voice getting louder. You think you are a big star? You are nobody. A TV cowboy from a canceled show. I am giving you a chance to make extra money and you refuse? You refuse because of... what? Artistic integrity? He spits the last words like they're an insult. Clint doesn't raise his voice, doesn't get defensive, just speaks calmly, quietly. This character doesn't smile because he's seen too much, done too much. He's killed men. He's survived in a world that kills good people. If he smiles, the audience won't believe him. They'll think he's just another Hollywood cowboy. But if he stays quiet, if he stays hard, they'll believe he's real. Poppy stares at him. Real? This is a movie. It is not real. It is entertainment. The best entertainment feels real. Silence. Poppy's jaw tightens. He's not used to being challenged, especially not by actors. Actors are supposed to do what they're told. Hit the mark. Say the line. Smile when the director says smile. But this American is different. Poppy turns to Leone. You see this? You see what I'm dealing with? Your actor refuses direction. Fire him. We will find someone else. The crew gasps. Actually gasps. Out loud. Fire Clint Eastwood? 6 weeks into production? They've already shot half the film. Leone steps between them. Giorgio, we cannot fire him. We have already shot. Then make him smile. That is your job as director. Leone takes off his glasses, cleans them with his shirt, a habit he has when he's trying to stay calm. Then he puts them back on, looks at Poppy, and says something in Italian. Low, firm. Whatever he says makes Poppy go pale. The producer stands there for a moment, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Then he points at both of them. Fine, fine. Make your film. Your serious, boring film that no one will watch. But when it fails, when it makes no money, do not come crying to me. He storms off the set. The door slams behind him. The crew slowly starts breathing again. Leone walks over to Clint, puts a hand on his shoulder. You just made an enemy. Clint shrugs. Wouldn't be the first time. He could have fired you. He still might. Then I'll go home. But I won't smile. Leone studies him for a long moment. Then he smiles. A real smile. Full of admiration. You know what I like about you, Clint? What? You understand the character better than I do. I just understand what works. No. Leone shakes his head. You understand the truth. This man has no reason to smile. The world took that from him, and you refuse to pretend otherwise. That is not acting. That is honesty. He claps Clint on the shoulder. Okay, we shoot the scene. No smile, just the way you want it. The crew resets. Clint goes back to his mark. Leone goes back behind the camera. They shoot the scene. The man with no name walks through the saloon doors, stands in the doorway, light behind him, face in shadow. The two gunmen tense, hands moving toward their guns. The man with no name doesn't smile, doesn't speak, just stands there. And the camera holds on his face for 10 full seconds, an eternity in film time. Nothing but silence and tension and the weight of inevitable violence. Leone whispers from behind the camera, perfect. That is perfect. They finish the scene in 3 takes. When they wrap for the day, Clint goes back to his small hotel near the studio. 1 room, shared bathroom down the hall, nothing fancy. He doesn't think about the confrontation with Poppy, doesn't worry about getting fired. He just knows he made the right choice. Some things you can't compromise on. Not for money, not for career, not for anything. A Fistful of Dollars is released in Italy in September 1964. The critics hate it. Too violent, too slow, too strange. But the audience loves it. It becomes the highest-grossing Italian film of the year. Then it spreads. Germany, France, England, Japan. Everywhere it plays, it becomes a phenomenon. People don't come to see a smiling cowboy. They come to see the man with no name, the character who doesn't smile, doesn't explain, just exists in pure, unfiltered presence. 1967, A Fistful of Dollars, finally comes to America. By then, Leone has made 2 sequels, for a few dollars more, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The trilogy makes Clint Eastwood an international superstar, not because he smiled, because he refused to. 1968. A reporter from Newsweek interviews Clint about his sudden fame. You became a star playing a character who barely talks and never smiles. That's unusual. Clint nods. Most actors think they need to do more emotion, more expression, more everything. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Is that hard? Doing nothing? It's the hardest thing there is, because it requires absolute confidence. You have to trust that the camera will find what's true in you. And if there's nothing true there, no amount of smiling or performing will save you. The reporter writes this down, then asks, "Is it true a producer offered you money to smile and you refused?" Clint is quiet for a moment. "That happened." "Why did you refuse?" "Because $1,600 isn't worth destroying a character." "But you were making $15,000 for the whole film. That was more than 10% extra." "Doesn't matter. Some things aren't for sale." The article runs with a photo of Clint from the good, the bad, and the ugly. Standing in the desert, poncho, cigar, squinting into the sun, no smile, just presence. The caption reads, "The Man Who Said No," 1971. Clint is directing his first film, Play Misty for Me, a thriller about a radio DJ stalked by a disturbed woman. It's a small film, low budget, personal. During production, a studio executive visits the set, watches some takes, pulls Clint aside. The main character is too cold, too distant. The audience needs to like him more. Can you add some scenes where he's more friendly, more charming? Clint looks at the executive. No. No? The character's not supposed to be likable. He's supposed to be real. Real people aren't always charming. But audiences want the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. The executive starts to argue, then stops, realizes he's heard this before, read about it somewhere. The Man Who Said No. He nods, walks away, doesn't interfere again. Play Misty for Me is released in 1971. Critics praise it as a taut, intelligent thriller. It makes 4 times its budget and launches Clint's directing career. 1992, Clint is making Unforgiven, a Western about aging, violence, and regret. The studio wants him to soften the ending, make it more hopeful, give the audience something to smile about. Clint refuses. The story is about consequences, about how violence destroys the people who commit it. A happy ending would betray everything we've built. The studio backs down. Unforgiven is released as Clint intended. It wins 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. No one asks him to smile anymore. 2008, Gran Torino, a film about a bitter Korean War veteran who befriends a Hmong family. The studio marketing department wants to position it as a heartwarming redemption story. They create posters with Clint smiling, standing with the young Hmong actor, looking friendly, grandfatherly. Clint sees the posters, calls a meeting. Pull them. But Clint, we tested these. Audiences respond to, pull them. This character doesn't smile. He's angry, damaged, racist. He changes by the end, but he doesn't become a teddy bear. Use a photo where I look like who the character is. They pull the posters. Replace them with an image of Clint holding a rifle. Face hard, eyes cold. The film becomes one of the highest grossing of his career because audiences didn't come to see a smiling grandfather. They came to see the truth. 2024. 60 years after a producer offered Clint Eastwood $1,600 to smile. 60 years after he said no. Clint is 94 years old. He's made over 50 films as an actor, directed over 40, won 4 Academy Awards, created some of the most iconic characters in cinema history, and almost none of them smile. The Man with No Name, Dirty Harry, the stranger in High Plains Drifter, the aging gunfighter in Unforgiven, Walt Kowalski in Gran Torino, men who don't perform emotion, men who exist in silence and restraint, men whose power comes from what they don't do. And it all started in a soundstage in Rome in 1964, when a producer offered money to compromise, and an actor said one word, no. That's the lesson Sergio Leone learned that day. That's the lesson every director who worked with Clint afterward learned. Some actors will do anything for money. Some will smile on command, will soften their characters, will compromise their vision. But not Clint Eastwood. He understood something fundamental. That truth is more valuable than approval. That restraint is more powerful than performance. That sometimes the most important thing an artist can do is refuse. Refuse to smile when the character wouldn't smile. Refuse to soften when the story demands hardness. Refuse to compromise when compromise means betraying the truth. Giorgio Papi, the producer who offered the money, died in 1987. A Fistful of Dollars, the film he thought would fail, has been watched by millions, has influenced thousands of filmmakers, has made tens of millions of dollars, and launched one of the greatest careers in Hollywood history. All because one actor refused $1,600. All because he understood that some things can't be bought. Integrity, vision, truth. Those aren't for sale. Not for $1,600. Not for $1 million. Not for anything. Clint Eastwood learned that long before Rome. But in October 1964, on a soundstage in Cinecittà Studios, he proved it and changed cinema in the process, not with a smile, with a refusal.